Right then, player ratings for France from Le Crunch. I asked the question during my videos following the game yesterday. Did France lose the game or did England win it? And I definitely think there's a bit of both, which will come out as we go through the French ratings. I'd be fascinated to read what they're writing in L'Equipe and what like YouTube French YouTubers are saying today. They must just look at the chances that France spurned, particularly in that first half, and just think, how did we lose? But part of that was England's defence. But I mean, let's get into it. Let me get straight into this. Your thoughts in the comments down below. I gave Jean-Baptiste Ross 7 out of 10. I really like him. He's a big old unit. He can scrummage, he can carry, and as we found out yesterday, he can be the last line of defence covering a little kick through. He had no right to be back there. Awesome. Piato Malvaca, I mean, was it his error? It was his error. He should have caught that pass and scored the try, shouldn't he? Louis Bielbire's pass wasn't great to Malvaca, but he should have taken it and scored. That aside, he's great. He's such a good player. What's really interesting is coming at it in the cold light of day. It's easy to get whipped up by a result, and it was a 1-point win for England. Let's not forget, and France left a load of chances out there. It's very easy to inflate the winning team's score and to minimise the losing team's score, and that's just going off the scoreboard. And I think you see a lot of that. I'm trying my best not to do that and to be fair. I'm calling it out when it needs to be called out, as you will see. But I thought Malvaca was really good. I thought Antonio was solid. I think Galtier took him off too soon. He just won a scrum pen against Finn Baxter and then he took him off. Bad error. I feel a bit harsh about the 4 out of 10 for Alexander Roumas because he actually did some really, really good line-out work. He cleaned England out in that first half. But I remember him coughing up the ball several times in key positions. And I've been talking about him over the last couple of weeks. A very good player in the 7 shirt, in the 8 shirt for France. And Toulouse, not convinced by him as an international second row. And France, I think, missing Thibaut Flamand massively. Meafu, now, it speaks volumes about the level of England's defence, particularly the back row, that Meafu wasn't as influential as he normally is. But still, he's a juggernaut, so hard to stop. And he has some absolutely slick offloads. He's a proper baller. 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10 for Francois Cross. I mean, this guy is just unheralded, underrated, does all the... He'll probably be... If you asked the French team who their favourite player in the side is, they'll probably say Francois Cross because he does so much work that goes unseen and he doesn't get the pats on the back for it, and he totally deserves it. He's brilliant. Paul Boudehon, quiet by his standards. A lot of unseen stuff as well, but I didn't think it was his best performance, but nothing glaringly bad. And Gregory Aldrit, I mean, a big shift from him. He just carries hard. He's just a class athlete. So when I look at the scores for the French pack, Roumas got a low one, a couple of 6s, a few 6s and some 7s. I actually thought the French pack were decent. I thought England were really, really good. I thought overall they were okay. And again, the context here is France butchered some glaring try-scoring opportunities, and they're playing away against England. And England have shown whoever they're playing, and even the defeats they've had to South Africa, to New Zealand, to Australia, whoever they're playing, even if they lose narrowly, they lose narrowly. You don't... I mean, 2 years ago, France absolutely pulverised England, and on their day can be unplayable. At times they were unplayable and just didn't finish. I thought the pack were okay. The great Antoine Dupont. He will be having nightmares about that drop, the pass from Penaud. And it sort of... He tried to catch it one-handed up here. It was quite a high... I mean, bread and butter. Come on, Antoine. But equally, I think people are far too quick to say the word GOAT when he has an incredible performance, and he has lots and lots of incredible performances. Equally, people are way too quick to go, see, he's average because he had one game where he wasn't great. That doesn't make any sense to me either. The guy's world class. He could well be the best player on planet Earth right now. In my mind, he is. He had a poor day by his very, very high standards, and yet still did some awesome things. He was at the heart of France when they did open up all those brilliant attacks, which they should have finished. He was at the heart of it, and in some cases was on the end of it, and was one of the people responsible for butchering it. Matthew Jalabert. he had a good spell. There was a 15-minute spell in that second half where you thought France were going to drop the hammer and take it away, and then Galtier decided to take Jalabert off after that. I think that was a mistake as well. But overall, not convinced by his performance. Did some nice things, grew into the game, but I don't know, just didn't take the game by the scruff of the neck. But then the French fly halves aren't there to take this game by the scruff of the neck because Dupont is the main playmaker. So yeah, I gave him a 5 out of 10. I gave Louis Bielbiere an 8, which might seem counterintuitive. This is one of the things I mean. Some people are sort of lower everyone's score just because they lose a game. I thought he was amazing. Like, if you just take the poor finishing from France out of the equation, Louis Bielbiere is brilliant. The way he managed to strip Marcus Smith, that should have been a try. He did score a try, or couple, wasn't it? Oh, couple. The way he went off his wing and worked onto the right wing to double up on Ollie Slightholme and Damien Penaud. He was just carving through England's team. I thought he was sensational and such a good attacking threat. So I give Louis Bielbiere an 8. Let me know if you disagree. That's what the comments are for. I'll be down there with you. I thought Yoram Moefano was physical. He held firm. England didn't get through the middle. A couple of occasions where Finn Smith picked off the French midfield and sent it forward through a hole. Generally speaking, he did enough in the middle to, when a team is getting the ball to the edges and getting loads of yards up the outside, it's because there's enough of a threat through the middle. And I thought Moefano did that job. I thought Barassi was decent. A very quiet first half, but got better in the second as France was starting to attack with more fluency in the second half and actually scoring the tries. Barassi was a key part of that. Penaud, a try, an assist, so many good things. Some absolute balls ups as well. Take the balls ups out of the equation. He might have been having another 8, but he's down at 6. And Thomas Ramos, errors, goal kicks didn't work. Still, despite all that, looks an amazing attacking fullback. And he was stepping into first receiver a lot. Just wasn't cohesion across the French team. But then again, they finished those tries, which, I still can't believe they didn't finish some of them. France win the game and everyone's saying Ramos is amazing. I thought he was good. And as for the bench, so I gave, maybe in some cases, I gave England's starters lower scores than some people might have. And I've given maybe some of France's starters, maybe in some cases, higher scores than some people might have imagined. I'm trying to be fair and objective. I gave England's bench really high scores. France's, well, let's have a look. Julien Marchand, yeah, fine. Cyril Bay, yeah, decent, fine. Georges-Henri Colombe, no. I've talked about this the last couple of weeks. Really not convinced. I think it's a weak link. It got exposed horribly. You have to be able to scrum. No scrum, no win. How do I know that? I'm an England fan. I know no scrum, no win. France have found it out as well. No scrum, no win. He holds up that scrum in their own 22 or just outside their own 22 and doesn't. Finn Baxter, new to international rugby, relatively speaking, and he made Finn Baxter look like Oxen Che. Awful. So I gave him a 3. I gave Michael Guyard a 5. I think I mentioned before the match, shirts 18, 19, 20, 21 would be a warning sign for me if I were a French fan, and that's how it panned out. Oradu, he's a good player, but he's young and inexperienced, and the inexperience showed. Jegu had a nice little break, great try-saving tackle. Was it on Tom Curry? So he did some really good things. Clearly a good player, inexperienced, and it showed. Nolan Le Garrec did some nice things. Wasn't convinced about him 9 and Dupont 10, and Gaeton did not play. So I think the takeaway there is the bench for England won it, and the bench for England lost it for France. Regardless of what had gone before and the butchered chances, Galtier's selection on the bench was, in my mind, bad, and it backfired. And his choice about when to put players onto the pitch was bad, and it backfired. That'd be some of my thoughts on France. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. I'll see you on the next one.